Hey guys, how's it going? My name is of course Catmanjoe and welcome back everybody to another brand new Minecraft news video on the channel. Today we're covering the latest Minecraft update called the 1.19.80 if you're on Universally Bedrock editions, and of course the 2.63 if you're on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. Now I just want to prepare everybody before you get into this entire video. This is an incredibly lengthy actual update in and of itself. It's a massive bug fix update, of course. It fixes and adds a bunch of new things and new features, so be sure to check the timestamps if you want to skip to anything in particular. But other than that, let's get right into the actual video itself. So posted April 26, 2023, Minecraft 1.19.80 Bedrock. It's time for a new quality of life update containing a variety of changes, fixes and experimental features. Let's jump into the highlights. Fixed multiple crashes that could occur during gameplay. Added settings to adjust item enchantment, glint, strength and speed. Take an early look at cherry blossom trees, armor trims and more with experimental features. And then last but not least, fixes to over 40 community reported issues. Please continue to upvote and report any new bugs at bugs.mojang.com and leave us your feedback at feedback.minecraft.net. Then going down from there, we've got the first main section, which is of course experimental features. It says even more experimental features are available in this update that are coming in the Trails and Tales update. As these features are still incomplete in development and considered a work in progress, be sure to back up your worlds before enabling experimental features. The features can be enabled by turning on the next major update toggle in world settings. So the first main thing in the experimental features is player sneaking. The ability to sneak under 1.5 blocks is now behind the short sneak toggle. Enable the toggle to continue to test out the feature while we continue polishing it. Player's hitbox height now reduces to 1.5 blocks while sneaking. Sneaking will automatically be initiated while stuck in a gap of less than 1.8 blocks. Sneaking will lower the player camera height respective of these changes. Sneaking now requires enough space to stand in order to exit sneaking state. Players will transition from swimming to sneaking if they're unable to stand but would be able to sneak. And then from there we've got Cherry Grove. Introducing the Cherry Grove biome with pretty cherry blossom trees. You can find it in the mountains like meadows. It has a new flower called Pink Petals as ground cover, which can be crafted into pink dye. Pigs, rabbits, sheep and bees also spawn here. It comes with a new wood set for the cherry blossom trees. And then moving on from there, we've got Archaeology. Added the Trail Ruins, a buried structure from a lost culture. Added Suspicious Gravel Block, which has the same characteristics as Suspicious Sand. Added Suspicious Sand to Warm Ocean Ruins. Added Suspicious Gravel to Cold Ocean Ruins. Added 16 new pottery shards, now 20 pottery shards in total. These have been distributed between the 5 archaeology sites: Desert Walls, Desert Temples, Cold Ocean Ruins, Warm Ocean Ruins and Trail Ruins. Next up, we've got armor trims. You can now visually customize your armor with a variety of unique trims at the smithing table. Armor trims are purely visual with no gameplay benefits and can only be applied to helmets, chest plates, leggings and boots. All trim patterns are visually the same on an armor's item icon, but the color will still change based on the trim material. To check which trim pattern a armor piece has, you can hover over it in the inventory. An armor trim has two properties, a pattern and a material. The pattern is defined by the smithing table used to apply the trim, and that represents the visual pattern of the trim. The material is defined by what ingredient you use to apply the trim and represents the color of the trim. The viable ingredients you can use to define the color of your armor trim are the following: iron, copper, gold, lapis, emerald, diamond, netherite, redstone, amethyst and quartz. Now moving on from there, we've got the smithing templates. Smithing templates have been redesigned into a workstation for physical equipment upgrades and modifications. Alongside slots for combining a piece of equipment and materials, there is now a required slot for an item called smithing templates. Smithing templates define what type of upgrade you will be making to equipment. It specifies both what type of items you can upgrade and what ingredients are valid to customize the upgrade. There are currently two categories of smithing templates: armor trim and netherite upgrade. Armor trim smithing templates can be found all throughout the world, and each of the following structures contain their own unique smithing template. Pillager Outpost is the Sanctuary armor trim, Desert Pyramid is the Duna armor trim, Shipwreck is the Coast armor trim, Jungle Temple is the Wild armor trim, the Ocean Monument is the Tide armor trim, the Ancient City has the Ward armor trim, Woodland Mansions have the Vex armor trim, Nether Fortresses have the Rib armor trim, Bastion Remnant have the Snout armor trim, Strongholds have the Eye armor trim, End Cities have the Spire armor trim, Trail Ruins have the Wayfinder armor trim, Razor armor trim, Sharper armor trim, Host armor trim, and Ancient City lastly has the Silence armor trim. Smithing templates are found in chests in the respective structure, except for the Ocean Monument. Instead of finding in a chest, Elder Guardians sometimes drop a smithing template when defeated. Some armor trim smithing templates are rarer than others, so be on the lookout for them to impress your friends. Smithing templates are consumed when used to upgrade an item in the smithing table. You can craft a copy of a smithing template in the crafting table with 7 diamonds and 1 block of material that the template is made out of, plus 1 smithing template, which will output 2 of the same smithing template. Next up, we've got netherite equipment. Netherite equipment crafting now also requires a netherite upgrade smithing template. Netherite Netherite upgrade smithing templates can be found randomly in all Bastion Remnant chests, and there is guarantee of 2 in every treasure room Bastion Remnant. This change was made for a variety of reasons. Increases the time players utilize diamond equipment before Netherite, makes Netherite equipment a more significant achievement in the game's progression, adapts Netherite more naturally into the new smithing table crafting system. Next, we've got Calibrated Sculk sensors, a new variant of Sculk sensors which allow you to filter vibrations based on their frequency level. They are not found naturally and can only be crafted. They can be crafted with 1 Sculk sensor and 3 amethyst shards in the crafting table. One side of the Calibrated Sculk sensor can receive a redstone signal as input. The strength of the redstone signal is the only vibration frequency the Sculk sensor will listen to. Then next we have got vibration resonance. Blocks of amethyst have a new behavior when placed adjacent to Sculk sensors. If that Sculk sensor receives a vibration, the block of amethyst will re-emit its frequency at a separate vibration at its location. This behavior is called vibration resonance and allows players to move vibration frequencies across long distances without having to recreate the vibration naturally. Next, we've got sign improvements. Signs have improved customization options. Sign text can now be edited after being placed in the world. This can be done by interacting with the sign. Both sides of the sign can now have separate text and colors, allowing for further customization options. By default, a sign will prompt you to input the front side's text when placed. To apply text to the back side, you must walk to the other side and interact with that face to edit it. Signs can now be waxed with honeycomb, preventing any further edits to text. Next up, we have got vanilla Parity. Renamed and enchanted weapons are now displayed and respawn in chat windows with color when a player is killed by an entity using it. Weighty pressure plates now produce the same sound as in Java Edition. Remove the character limit for scoreboard objective names and objective display names. Melons and pumpkins can now grow onto mud, podzol, rooty dirt, and muddy mangrove roots. Nylium blocks, however you're meant to pronounce that, are now grouped with netherrack in the creative inventory. Armor stands now vanish with no sound effects when killed with the /kill command. Slightly decreased panda collision box to match Java Edition. Slightly increased polar bear collision box to match Java Edition. Shipwreck supply chests are no longer missing moss block as loot. Mobs will once again take damage when standing on an incomplete block next to a campfire. And now that we're past that big stage, we can finally go into fixes and changes and start with stability and performance. Fix several crashes that could occur during gameplay. Fix the bug where invalid banner patterns were causing players in render distance to crash. Fix the bug where command blocks could cause actors within a level chunk to freeze. Fix the crash that could occur when opening the My Packs tab with a broken pack. Next up, we've got gameplay. Fix the player moving in the wrong direction after exiting a container screen while using a gamepad. Players can no longer sneak while flying. The player's camera no longer appears inside blocks when sprint and swim are held. Fixed animation transition between swimming and walking. The health boost effect will no longer fully replenish the player's health after the effect runs out. Fixed ambient cave sounds to no longer play when the player enters or loads into the end. Next up, we have got mobs. Mobs can now enter a boat only if they are smaller than the boat itself. Villagers will now generate green particles when a successful trade is completed. Mobs no longer play the player eat sound when fed breeding materials. Turtles can now enter boats and boats with chests. Hoglings, polar bears, and spiders can no longer enter boats and boats with chests. Fixed experience or position desync after teleport. Villagers will now wake up in a valid position and will not phase through blocks. Next up, we have got blocks. Mangrove, bamboo, and polished blackstone buttons are no longer visible on maps. Flowers are once again displayed immediately when placed inside a flower pot. Nether portals can now replace blocks other than just air when being generated. This includes blocks such as grass and snow layers. Light blocks can no longer have their light levels changed in survival or adventure modes. Campfire sounds are now louder and clearer. Sponges no longer emit water drop particles underwater. Fixed an issue where colored wool became white wool after being loaded from worlds prior to 1.17. Next up, we've got items. Potions no longer have an enchantment glint due to obscuring the color of the potion contents. Cooking chorus fruit in a furnace will now generate experience. Then moving on, we've got accessibility. A glint strength slider that adjusts how transparent the visual glint is on enchanted items has been added to the accessibility settings. A glint speed slider that adjusts how fast a visual glint shimmers across enchanted items has been added to the accessibility settings. Focus indicator is now automatically visible on menu items when using a keyboard. Text to speech no longer reads previously selected items after moving to new ones. Text to speech no longer gets stuck on reading accessibility tab while the user switches between different tabs. Moving on from there, we've got user interface. Added a header and title for the inventory tab and inventory screen while using Pocket UI. Update look of sign in and sign up screens. Increase the spacing between headers in the settings screen to increase readability. Touchpad scrolling now matches the operating system's scroll direction. Feedback button on the pause menu will now prompt the user with a model before redirecting to the browser. Corrected toggle navigation and edit world menu while using gamepad or keyboard that were previously skipped. Now moving on from there, we've got graphical. Halved the default visibility of the glint on enchanted enchanted items, which can now be modified in the accessibility settings. Decrease the default visibility of glint on enchanted items, which can now be modified in the accessibility settings. Fixed an issue where unnecessary black boxes appeared in VR while around partial blocks. Fixed the issue where multiple light sources such as torches were incorrectly emitting white light in RTX. Boots do not Z-fight anymore when worn by a player. The leg and belt parts of leggings do not Z-fight anymore when worn by a player. Capes no longer flash red when getting damage. Fixed a visible gap in hopper model. Fixed alignment of the output slot of crafting table. Going into lava and third person view no longer causes the camera to turn back. Next up, we have got the marketplace. A wish list has been added to select players for testing so that players can test things to purchase at a later time. This feature is still in testing and for now will only be available for select players. Look for this icon in the marketplace, and of course it shows us a little love heart in a box. Moving on from there, we have got realms. Fixed an issue that prevented players on PlayStation 5 from purchasing a Realms Plus trial. Added the ability for members to update the Realms server version, meaning that the realm owner will not need to log on to update. Added D-pad navigation in the realm feed screen pop-up. Added keyboard navigation in the realms feed screen pop-up. Fixed a bug where players would be stuck if they added a resource pack to an expired realm and clicked the exit button. Fixed a bug where content packs applied to a world in a realm slot were applied to another world in another slot in the same realm. Fixed a bug where content packs applied to a world is unintentionally unapplied when joining a world. Fixed an extra cancel button displaying on mobile file download dialog. Added a link to Microsoft privacy statement in the world upload dialog. Next up and last in the fixes and changes section is touch controls. Adding new touch and hold stack splitting for precision selection of the items in a single slot. Fixed an issue where items could get stuck in the crafting table when using touch input. If the player is underwater and auto jump is enabled, as they approach a block that is one level higher than the current level, they will rise. This also allows auto jumping out of water onto land. Now moving on from here, we have got technical updates. Now all of this stuff I could really cover in depth, but I'd probably rather leave this for you guys because all this stuff is kind of more just kind of mumbo jumbo. For the average Minecraft player, none of this really, give or take, is going to make much sense unless you're kind of some like person that kind of uses this stuff, whether it be some of the new command things that they've added or changed, or whether it be some of the stuff that they've added for apparently stuff here like blocks, item stack, item stack, item durability component, the marketplace stuff, servers, game test framework, API experimental. It's all stuff that I don't really fully understand, so I'm not really going to fully cover this, but that was everything for the 1.19.80, or of course, once again, if you're on PlayStation 4 or obviously PlayStation 5 as well, version 2.63. So yeah, everybody, after listening to a huge mouthful of all that, I'm sure you're all probably sick and tired of listening to me, so I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, please be sure to share it with your friends and family, and if you found it useful as well, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah guys, I'll see you all hopefully in the next Minecraft video. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day, everybody.